We're on the road. Where transportation goes, community grows. Welcome to On the Road with the MTA. And welcome to another exciting edition of On the Road with the MTA. I'm Jay Gibbons alongside with Stephanie Kay from the MTA. We have a full studio today.
We do. I love when people can come into the studio, and we have a very special guest, too. You know, we've been doing the podcast for about a year and a half, 2 years now?
About 2 years. Our episode over 150 episodes now. So
right. Well, thank you for all you do, because it makes it possible.
Well, thank you for all that you do, because you're the one that coordinates all the guests.
I love finding the good ones, and I have one today, too. Actually, we go out looking for things that are free and helpful for the community, and this time somebody called us, which I was so grateful for.
Yay.
It made my day. It made my day. Jamie Stowe was a client that has used MTA for quite a while. He called to say, gave you a compliment, how wonderful he enjoys listening to the podcast every week and how he learns what's going on in the community. So that was a nice compliment, wasn't it?
Very nice. I like that.
And so I said, well, you're invited to be a guest today. So we have Jamie Stowe with us today. Jamie, thank you for joining us. There you go.
My pleasure. Glad I could.
Well, yes, absolutely. Thank you for that compliment. It was so nice. And you said that you've been using MTA for how long now?
I've been using MTA since 2013.
Oh, okay. How'd you find out about it?
I was I was looking for a case manager told me about the program, and I'm like, okay. I said, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. Apprehensive, of course. Like, yeah, they're going to pick me up on time. What's going to happen?
Exactly. And
yes. Well, I know you're visibly impaired. Has that been your whole life?
Absolutely. No eyesight. Never had eyesight.
Well, that must be very challenging for you. And I can't imagine if you had to go to the grocery store, it's got to be hard to find the transportation. So I'm so glad we're able to be there for you. And have you found it to be helpful for you since you've been using it?
Absolutely, positively, because if it wasn't for what MTA does for me and drivers like Gary, I would not be able to go and do the things that I do.
Well, it was so nice when you did call. Yeah, you complimented Jay and myself for doing a great job with the podcast and bringing the information to you. But you also said how much you enjoyed Gary L. Jones, who was your driver, that he went over and beyond to help you out of the car, make sure you got in okay. And Gary, thank you for joining us and bringing him here today. Thank you for being here.
Oh, well, thank you for having me.
How long have you been at MTA?
Coming up on 4 years in October.
Oh, wow. Really? 4 years? That
Yay.
went fast. Yay, I know. So what's the best part about working at MTA?
I guess it was a kind of a natural progression for me. In my first life, I was a teacher, of course, and when I retired from that, I enjoyed working with young people and seeing the light bulbs go on and knowledge sink in. But after that, I was looking for something else to do where I could do something with helping people and doing something with people, and it seemed like a natural progression. So I came to the MTA.
Well, good. And you have to say nice things because Mr. Berger's here with us right now. He's the manager. He's your boss. So, Ed, what do you think is the best thing about working here at MTA as a driver?
I think our overall mission, everything that we do, every call, every trip, is helping improve people's quality of life. And that's what we get to do every day. And a lot of times we have individuals that are very independent, like Jamie. And if we didn't have a service that we provide, he may not get to do the things that he needs to do. And for us to be able to do that every day, that's our mission. It makes you sleep very well at night, knowing that every day you're making a difference.
Mm-hmm. That is so true. That's why I like working about MTA too, is because we know how many people we're helping. How about you, Jay? What's your favorite thing about working at MTA?
I like the fact that we are a community-based organization, and then all of the good that we do. And there's so many people that don't even understand that MTA is more than just transportation.
They think we're just a bus.
Yeah, just a bus. Yeah, that's it. But no, it's a lot more than that.
So, Jamie, aren't you glad that caseworker told you about MTA?
Yes, I am. Very thankful. And I'm also thankful for another driver, Mark Simpson. When I first started using MTA, he told me about the monthly passes.
Oh, yes. So that saves you some money, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And I'm also thankful for the fact that MTA takes credit cards and debit cards for people to purchase their passes. Because for people like me with no eyesight, it makes it more convenient that I can just call in instead of asking somebody to write out a check for me.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't think about that. That's very important to know. So how do you go about, somebody's listening right now and they want to get a pass. How do you go about getting a pass?
I just call and talk, try to get a hold of Tricia, who does a fantastic job.
Then she just gets you the monthly pass each month. You have to call and get a new one?
Yep.
Well, good. I'm glad it made it easier for you because that's what MTA wants to do is make it easy for people. That's what MTA actually stands for. Man, that's awesome.
Yep.
Actually, another driver gave me that. Gary, what was his name?
It was Tom.
Yes. Tom. You know Tom very well, don't you?
Yeah, Tom Youngquist. He's quite the character. Does a great job with the customer service, and he's quite the golfer as well.
But don't you golf as well?
Well, I go through the motions. I wouldn't say I was a golfer, but
I do the same thing, Ed. I just go through the motions. I have fun. That's all that matters.
No, I said I can drive a cart and I can drink, so I'm pretty good, right? I'm in. I can do that pretty well.
I know I've drove a golf cart on a golf course with a friend of mine giving me directions. Turn right, turn left.
That would be fun.
Yeah, you have the whole open field. That's a good idea with no trees. That would work out just right. Oh, that's funny. So have you had a chance to tell other people about MTA since you've been using it yourself, Jamie?
Absolutely. I've talked to friends that have, like I had one friend of mine that lost their eyesight, and she was telling me about times how she was denied service because she didn't have the ADA card.
Sure.
And I said that, and I strongly advised her to get that because I told her that people with disabilities, MTA cannot deny them service.
Absolutely. The ADA card is the American Disability Act, and that is something that MTA is very proud of. They can actually help them, and it's a reduced fee, and they do not refuse any of the rides. And I know we give like 4 million rides a year. Is that correct?
overall, just for the Your Ride paratransit, it's about 500,000 rides a year.
How do you organize all that? I know if somebody calls us, we were late, or it's like, really? I think we do a pretty good job for $2.25 is all it costs. How can we afford to do that?
Well, it takes great people. As Gary can attest, he came here after another career, and I think he'll be the first to say how rewarding it is. It's not about the pay. It's you're making a difference. You're getting up and you're doing something that makes the world a better place.
Yep.
And
people are very appreciative. So many times it's so nice to hear somebody, well, thank you for the ride. Thank you for coming to pick me up. It's very nice. People are very appreciative, and it makes you feel great.
And I know that it's not always easy. I know that you have construction, you have a lot of people want to get to work on time, and there's a lot of challenges, but yet you guys do make it happen. And I know you're just part of the big picture of 4 million total. I mean, that's a lot of rides each year. So thank you for what you do out there.
Oh, well, you're welcome. It's a pleasure, like I said, to do it. And you get a lot of nice people, and they appreciate what we do. And I get that same feeling I mentioned earlier about when you'd see a light bulb go on with a youngster in school. It's almost that same sort of thing. Makes you feel very warm, and you know you're doing your job.
Yeah.
When somebody thanks you. I mean, just like Jamie here, I was just doing my job, helping him get from A to B, and he really appreciated it, and It was very nice of him to thank me.
Well, thank you, Jamie. You know what? Had you not called, we wouldn't have known about all that. So thank you for the compliments. We appreciate that so much.
My pleasure. And another thing I do is I try to, when the drivers pick me up, I ask them if they need a bottle of water because I know especially with the weather, the drivers are humans and they get thirsty.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's very thoughtful of you, Jamie. What a good person. I mean, you called to say you thought you were running late, but you were fine. You were on time, and you called to say you were here. Now, that's conscientious. You'd make a great employee for anybody who wanted to hire you. Are you looking to work at all?
Absolutely. I'm willing to try like anything, except for I'm no good with computers, but I can do other things.
Well, we had another young lady. Her name was Ashley Seymour, and she was born totally blind as well. And she's working MTA now. First, she was making phone calls and doing surveys, and then she worked her way up to being a coordinator, I do believe. And we bought her this program called JAWS, and the computer talks to you. So you don't have to read it. It talks to you, which is something you might want to consider as well.
I've looked into getting to that, but I just feel like every time I've sat behind a desk, I felt like restless, irritable.
Sure.
But I'm more of I like to do things that's more action-oriented versus...
You're a hands-on kind of guy.
People
Absolutely,
person.
Positively.
I'm the same way. They can't cage me and put me behind a desk. And I was hired to be out in the community and doing things, and that's where I feel like my most powerful, best work is with people. So I totally understand.
Oh, well, you're definitely a people person.
Oh, yeah.
No one would ever guess that.
I would love to go to work with you in the community, if at all possible.
Well, there's a lot of different, you've always called to say, what's going on this weekend? Where can I go? There's, on the 11th, there's 2 free family events going on, and I will share those with you. We're putting those on the podcast. We're going to be talking to them. As a matter of fact, we're going to be recording one coming up here just in a few minutes.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And there's also So many things going on. So, Jamie, if you ever want to come and sit at our table and volunteer with us and talk to people, we'd love to have you there.
I would love to do it, but I know I won't be able to do that on the 11th because I got invited to go on a camping trip with some friends.
Oh, fun. Who doesn't love camping? I love that.
And I told Gary about the trip, and I said that you and Gary were welcome to join.
Oh, that was sweet of you. Thank you so much. All right, Gary, you want to go?
I'm busy in August on the weekends.
Oh, I know you are with your trains. Yes, that's your hobbies. So Gary has trains and models. That's his hobbies. What are your hobbies, Jamie?
I like to listen to talking books from the Library for the Blind.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, sure.
And I like to swim. I like to go to camp. I'm just play cards. I have Braille Uno cards.
Oh, I didn't think about that. That's
and Braille
awesome.
regular cards.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Do you have any kind of tournaments you ever do with that?
I just like to play with friends.
Oh, that's the best too. How about you? I know I work with you every day, Ed. What's your hobbies?
My family.
Oh, that's a nice answer.
That's a great hobby.
I have 4 kids. They're all in something different, and I just enjoy supporting them and what they want to do.
You don't really have any time for hobbies when you got 4 kids running around.
4 kids, that is his hobby. Making the kids, I know. How about you, Jay?
I do, I like bicycling. I like walking. I like running. I like camping. We like to kayak, all the outdoorsy kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I love kayaking. It's supposed to go on Monday.
Oh, were you going to go kayaking Monday? That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, yeah. I like walking and watching movies. And so, and the hobbies is actually helping people. I think we like helping people. MTA, we can do that too.
Yep.
I was going to say, actually, this is another point that's great about the MTA.
Yeah.
Because I'm so old. When I was in school, this was before the MTA, and my parents were the MTA.
Oh,
they
right.
drugged me and my sisters everywhere.
Absolutely.
Now, that's something the MTA does. I do that quite often, picking up a lot of students. And
sure.
So, yeah, the MTA really fills a need for students.
Well, my the CEO, Mr. Ed Benning, had said today you're driving, tomorrow you could be riding. So it's like a little insurance policy to know it's out there for you. Mm-hmm. So true too. Yeah, so I know that helps. And we started off with just being buses 50 years ago, and now we have Your Ride. Ed Berger can attest to. It's a 24-hour in advance. You can get a Your Ride to pick you up from your home, and Gary, you've done that many times. And Jamie, you've been picked up. Takes you anywhere in Genesee County with a 24-hour notice. And the rides to wellness can be there within 30 minutes. They'd prefer a little more time than that, but they can be there within 30 minutes and take you anything health and wellness. And that's free for the veterans. And that's also free for a lot of people that live in Flint that are over 60. And you can find other ways to have that paid for. If you have a case number from the DSS, you can actually, or DHS.
I just remembered something about Gary. One of the first times I met him, we're sitting in a room, and I was going over. I just had like my notes of expectations, things that I've learned over my career, and I go over them, and Gary's nodding his head, he agrees, and then afterwards he gets done. He points out with his English background. He said, "Well, actually, this is the technical way you should say that, the right way."
See, I was going to say that you're going to correct people's English, which is fantastic. You're supposed to. You're a teacher,
and he did, and I corrected my expectations in this, and I didn't want to say in regards to Jamie, he's just such a wonderful advocate. He doesn't hesitate to call and say, "Hey, you guys did a great job. This is a dang good driver you got here," but he'll also say, "Hey, you know what? Where's my ride? I run a little behind. What's going on?" And then he usually gets the scoop from the driver, like, it might be construction going on or something like that. But I always appreciate Jamie because he's an honest shooter, and he does a lot of good feedback for us that's very constructive. So I do want to say, Jamie, thank you.
I try to do what I can because I believe in what MTA does, and I want to help them improve.
Right.
And I have mentioned ideas on things that could be where there could be improvements.
Sure. No, there's like you say, 4 million rides a year. We really try to work to improve the best we can, and we appreciate the compliments and the complaints because both will help us to improve and to get where we need to go. So
it's not really complaints; it's constructive criticism.
There you go. There you go. I know. Yes, with construction, I can see where things are late. Of course, we can't, text and drive, so that's not good.
But we do try to get there as fast as we can.
Sure.
We try to accommodate everybody. Sometimes, we'll get something added on or something, but we always try to get there and accomplish and get to the people as fast as we can.
Mm-hmm. I know you personally, so I know you really care. You'll come back after work and just say how this might be stressful, or you wish you could have gotten somebody, or you would tell me about that one lady that said that she was so grateful to you because you said you went over and beyond and helped her with her purse. So you said, I'll hold that for you so that you can get another car. And she's like, well, thank you so much. No one's ever offered that before, because she was elderly and she was having her bags and her purse. And
that everything. Just came from always helping my mom with her purse. So it was a natural thing.
Well, it was just nice. And those are things you don't hear about every time, but we appreciate that as well. So it's just always good to know. Well, Jamie, I cannot thank you enough for coming in and giving us your time and all your compliments and your constructive criticism. They both help so very much.
My pleasure.
Well, you're welcome back anytime, okay? And we'll invite you to come out and maybe hang out with us next time we're doing a free event someplace.
I would love to, and I would love to sit at the table with you.
Okay, we'd love to have you out there and give away some of the goodies that we just gave you. We gave you, a hat, and you have a jar opener, and
yes, all kinds of goodies. And one of the best gifts that MTA has provided me with is transportation to be able to go where I would like to go in Genesee County, because to me, I don't like to try to ask my family to drive me here or drive me there, because I just like the independence that MTA has given me to be able to go anywhere I want to go in Genesee County.
Absolutely. You don't want to be a burden on anybody, but you want to be able to have your freedom and go. So that's why I'm so grateful. I can't imagine not having MTA in place. So I'm so grateful for here. I'm grateful people will say yes to the millage, because that helps a lot. And Mr. Berger, I know that you're always looking for drivers. And one thing I don't know if people realize is we pay people, that we give them their birthday paid off. I've never worked in a place that had the birthday paid off and all the holidays, and they can pretty much work the hours they want. So are you still hiring right now?
We are. If you have that interest and you're looking for something to do, please reach out to us. It is so rewarding, and you get paid to do it.
Pay is quite nice, actually.
Well,
too.
That's what I was going to say. It's a livable wage.
Right.
I mean, you can make a house payment. You can make a car payment. Mm-hmm. It's very nice.
And it's nice because you hire a lot of people that are retired and they need this little extra income that maybe they only want to work 2 or 3 days a week. Or maybe you want to work full-time and have full benefits. And if you don't want the benefits, they give you an extra $218 a month. Is that still in place as well?
Yes, it is.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, really, so you can go to www.mtaflint.org and find out about everything that we have to offer, whether it's job offers, job openings, and our stops, and about your ride and rides to wellness, and hopefully some comments from Jamie we're going to try to put up there too, Jamie.
Is there a phone number that people can call just in case? Because I know some of the senior citizens do not have access to computers.
Oh, sure. There's a customer service, and that number is 810-767-0100. That's customer service. That's also, if you can't get on the computer, once again, that's 810-767-0100. And they're very nice over there. It's Monday through Friday.
Yep.
So, all right.
Or if they want to be on the podcast, they can simply just drop us an email at podcast@mtaflint.org.
All right. I love that, too. Well, guys, thank you for coming in so much, and thank you for listening each week to On the Road with the MTA with Jay and Stephanie K, bringing you things in the community that are free, helpful, and just makes your life a little bit better. And thanks for listening. Stay safe.
You've been listening to On the Road with the MTA. For more information on our services and community outreach, visit us online anytime at www.mtaflint.org. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. The MTA, your community, your connection, your way.